Good morning again, YouTube and Facebook. It is 5:45 in the morning and a little bit later than I normally would be up, but a particular subscriber, Catalic, or Catatic, I apologize for mispronouncing it, one of my new subscribers who commented on my last video from yesterday. Apologize for this mispronunciation. She did a video about tips to help you with dealing with cashiers. And it got me thinking back to the days when I used to work in call centers. And I did that for, about 10 years. First place I worked at was Stream International out in Chilliwack, and did that for about 3.5 years doing tech support for Hewlett Packard. And I'd say 99% of the time it was Americans we dealt with. You did the odd Canadian, you just punt them over to Canada to support. That was my first call center job, and probably one of the more different ones, if you will, just because you dealt with the technical aspect of things, where they're trying to describe stuff that's going on, and you're listening, trying to figure out, okay, well, what the hell did you do to fuck up your computer? And no, I'm sorry, sir, the CD-ROM drive is not a fucking cup holder. It's not turning on? Okay, did you try the power button by chance? I also worked for their PDA support, and yeah. Then I moved from there to a medical software company, and that was just the shit, so I left there. Then I worked for another local ISP in Vancouver called Uniserve, and that was back with my ex-wife, and that was interesting doing tech support for there. But they fired me because I was using MSN, and that's against company policy. Well, shit, half the tech support guys back there were doing it too. But no matter, I moved on. One of the more interesting call center jobs I had was a company called Telligence. And if you're familiar with them, or if you're not, I'll describe what they are. They basically run all of the chat lines in Vancouver. So Live Links, Tango Personal, Interactive Mail, Vibe Line, which was a one for African Americans in the States, Red Hot Dateline, etc., etc. So my job was customer service, 10:30 to 6:30 in the morning. So you can imagine the types of calls that I would get at, I don't know, 1 in the morning, 2, 3, etc., etc. Drunk guys calling up, I want to get on the line, or gay guys phoning up and jacking off, and I'd basically be like, you know what, that's not what I'm here for. Let's get you back on the line, and I'm sure there's a guy on there who'd love to talk to you like that. Or underage callers phoning up and bullshitting me about their age. The best one I remember was a kid, and I use that term loosely. I said, well, you got blocked from the line for being underage, sir. I'm not underage, I'm 18. Okay, well, what's your birthday? March 4th. And the year, sir? 1845. And I sat there and I was like, really? 1845? Are you shitting me? Yeah, that would make you over 100 years old, sir, and I sure as heck don't hear you sucking on oxygen, so call back when you're 18. The interesting thing that I learned working here, or working there, I should say, was when it came to working with the guys from Interactive Mail, if I acted gay, I could sell more minutes. I could sell more package of minutes to these guys and make a bigger commission. Now, some out there may say that that's kind of slimy and what have you, but hey, let's face it, I was in it to make money, and that's what it's for. It's a business. It's not personal. It's business, to quote Donald Trump. So they'd phone up, and the way that they had their system set up was the guys could call from 6 to 7 for free and talk for that hour, but as soon as 700.01 hit, boom, system took their minute, it was gone. So they'd phone up bitching and complaining, the system took my minute, I want it back. And I'd look at their account and be like, well, sir, you haven't bought time in us for like 5 years. Why should I give you a minute back just so you can use the system for free and get your jollies off? I tell you what I'll do though, sir, you want to buy a package of time, I'll give it to you for half price, and I'll give you 30 minutes for free. Or they'd phone in and be like, well, what part of the system do you like the best? And I'd be like, oh, well, I like the Breakfast Club, because that's what all the hot guys call. Yeah. I know. Pretty, pretty good gay impression. Anyways, well, flamboyantly gay, I should say. Anywho, moving on. So then they did a mass layoff, and I got a fat severance check from them, to which I used to live in the lap of luxury. Okay, not really. I used it to pay off bills and crap, and support myself. So then I worked for J.P. Morgan Chase here in Surrey for about 2.5 years, and again they did a layoff. Now that was different because that was dealing with Americans and their credit cards. I thought the other jobs were difficult and stressful, dealing with whiny, bitchy ass, Nancy Pansy Americans. No. Try dealing with Americans and their credit cards who think it's their God-given right to have a fucking credit card, and that they should have the lowest possible interest rate and never pay late fees or finance charges or annual fees or any other bullshit that goes along with it. It got to the first year that I worked there, I was all fucking to the customer and do whatever the fuck they want and make them happy, right? And sell the company products. Then by the end of the second year, I decided that, you know, I really don't give a flying fuck about what your problem is and why you're pissed off at the bank, and it's not my problem that you're mad at the bank because I didn't cause the problem. You're phoning me to help you fix whatever fuck up has happened on your account. And the one thing I've learned in life, and particularly in dealing with call centers, be it me calling the call center or somebody calling me, is A, I don't take it personally when they were bitching and moaning and complaining. B, I was never rude. I was never rude to people when they were whining and complaining about something the bank did. I was just very blunt and direct and truthful with them. Classic line I used to use when it came to people bitching about, oh, I've got a 7.99% fixed APR. I want that lowered. And I'd look at it and go, well, wait a minute. You've been with the bank for upteen years, never paid a penny in finance charges, and you want a lower interest rate? Really? Give me a break, buddy. Like, not gonna happen. What I loved, though, was the people that had very high APRs because they were delinquent and barely scraped by making their payments, and they'd bitch and complain about their the bank upping the interest rate. Sorry, is what I meant to say. People that would complain that, oh, I had a 7.99 fixed rate, now you've upped me from a fixed rate, now it's a variable rate. I want it fixed. And I'd sit there and explain to them, look, this is how it works, whether you like to hear this or not. The bank has to pay to get the money from the feds. Mind you, they don't pay very much money, but they still have to pay to get that money from them. They then have to pay to maintain the account 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year, so that that $20,000 that they've given to you is there whenever you need it. Thirdly, they have to pay my salary to sit here for 8 hours a day and listen to people complain about stuff, and trust me, I'm not cheap to sit here. So you can sit there and get mad at me because I've told you the truth about how things work, but nobody made you sign for this credit card. You chose to take the credit card on. And the same goes for when they bitch about late fees. Well, why'd you charge me a late fee? I mailed my payment in plenty of time. Well, because we don't go by when you mail it, we go by when we get it. So you're choosing to not utilize the other options that the bank has to make your payments, ergo, we will charge you a late fee. Well, it's not fair. Well, I don't make the rules, I just follow them. If you have a complaint, here's the address for the president of the company. Write to him. I'm sure he'd be more than happy and gracious to accept your letter, and by that I mean send you a pre-form letter thanking you and saying that this is the company policy. Have a nice day. So then they let me go, and actually they let everybody go. There was about 700 people out of a job just like that. Well, they gave us 5 months notice, but still. So then I was out of work. Oh, no. Well, actually what I did what I did was I took the last week off, sick, and took my security course. And then I worked for Windsor, like I said in my previous video, commission errors. Oh, the one company I forgot to mention is I worked for one called Global Protect. Decent company, very small company, and most of it was just sitting watching equipment. So I'd be out in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, BC, watching equipment for 18 hours, and was incredibly bored. Like, to the point where you start either seeing stuff, or you start talking to yourself, or you start imagining that, you know, little green men are coming down from space or whatever. So, last night's shift, pretty uneventful. Nothing spectacular happened. Yeah, it was pretty boring. The thing I did yesterday before, or I got woken up early because I had something to go deal with here in the complex. And then I spent most of the day researching and sorting through web pages to get free shit sent to my house. So my mailbox will be inundated with free stuff, like chocolate bars and laundry soap and coffee samples, etc., etc. I'm all about getting free shit. I'm all about getting stuff for as cheap as I can. And it's not about, you know, underpaying for crap quality or overpaying for shit quality. It's about, you know, bills, rent, 2 kids to feed, don't have a crap load of money, and really don't have the time to, you know, sit there and try and gouge somebody for a drop in price. I mean, if I can, great, I will. But, you know, I'm all about the free stuff. What else? Took to the kids and got their pictures with Santa and at the mall the other day with Ella and Xander, and they had a blast. Ella didn't smile, but Xander sure did, so that was fun. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to Christmas coming up. Got to work Christmas Eve, so I won't be able to go to church for Christmas Eve service, which kind of sucks, but that's what happens. Gotta work, gotta pay the bills, right? But yeah, so that's it for me right now. I'm gonna go grab a coffee and then go to bed. I know, the irony of that. Going to bed, but yet you're going to drink coffee. So yeah, feel free to leave comments below. And or questions or concerns. I can be your Dr. Phil. So yeah, we'll see y'all later, YouTube.